at your little background. Glad it's not a kitten.
Oh, nothing cooked when we are. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. This is cause number 2018-00836. In the interest of Leah and Leila Pequeño, all parties, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. You need to unmute yourself, Mr. Pequeño.
Yes, sir, I do. I apologize.
All right. Please identify yourself and your relationship to the children.
Yes, sir. My name is Luis Arturo Pequeño, and I am the father of Leah and Leila Pequeño.
All right. And for the state?
Marcella Turner.
All right. And what are we doing today?
Well, Your Honor, Ms. Seeley also is here on behalf of the custodial parent. She's representing her, the custodial parent.
I'm sorry. Can you identify yourself, ma'am? And
yes. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Attorney Tricia Seeley, and I represent the cross petitioner Lonnie Sines, mother of the children.
And your client is not present. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Seeley. All right. And so, what are we doing today, Miss Turner?
Your Honor, the parties appeared here in this courtroom on January 21st of 2021, where they reached an agreement as to modifying and confirming the arrears on this matter. That matter was also, or those agreements, the terms of those agreements were also proved up on the record on that same court date. Today's setting is only for entry purposes. However, Mr. Pequeño has voiced an opinion or an interest to have a hearing to argue as to why this order should not be entered on today. So this is for hearing today. All parties have already signed off on the agreed order, including a representative of the Office of the Attorney General.
All right. So Mr. Pequeño, what is the problem?
Yes, sir. So on page 18 of this documentation, I have discussed this with Lonnie, the other parent. I felt there was no accountability for her, and she has agreed to modify the documentation. Ms. Tresha, did she send you that email to make?
Wait.
Yes,
tell me specifically what you're talking about on page 18.
Yeah. So the top portion of it, the conservator who incurs healthcare expense, I agree with that.
Where is that?
Your Honor, he's referring to number 7 on page 18 that discusses the allocation of unreimbursed
expenses. Okay.
Yes, and so the second paragraph under number 7 is where his issue begins.
Yes.
Okay, the conservator who, let me read it. Who incurs the healthcare expense on behalf of the child is ordered to furnish the conservator all forms of sheets built in and reflected. Okay, that's standard wording on allocations of unreimbursed expenses. What objections do you have, Mr. Pequeño, to that?
Yes, Your Honor. So the portion that I have an issue with is the if the incurring conservator clause. I have discussed this with Lonnie, and she has come to an agreement that it does not have accountability in her part as far as a determining timeline. And
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Wait,
I'm gonna have
Objection.
wait a minute, Ms. Seeley. Let him get through what he wants to say. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
Your Honor. I'll hold
Thank-
my objection.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So if the incurring conservator fails to furnish within 30 days, it now, I've declared this to Lonnie, and she agrees that it gives her an endless timeline. And I don't want to, I've stated to her that I don't want to have a 2 year later a bill for $5,000, let's just say, and I only have 120 days. Her and I make different kind of money, and if you look at the documentation, her and I have discussed that in the past she has made a substantial dental care procedure, and I did not agree with it, and I've told her that I don't find it fair.
Objection.
Can I
No,
finish?
no, ma'am. Just let him say what he wants to say, please.
So in the past, I have made a declaration to her that I did not agree with the dental procedures that she dealt with, because she dealt with anesthesia that was very costly. And so she's agreed within all these terms to nix that cost partially. And I'm very thankful for that. And so what this clause is telling me is that dental procedure she could have submitted a year later, and I would have 120 days to come up with $4,000 or $5,000, and I don't make that kind of money, Your Honor. And so I've asked her, and she has agreed to remove the if clause. And I told her what I feel is fair is if she has 30 days to submit it, then I have 30 days to reimburse it. If she has 90 days to submit the documentation, then I have 90 days. And her and I have agreed either 90 days or 120 days. It's very fair for both parties that we both agree with the procedures and with the submittal of payment and the reimbursement timelines. And that is the only thing that I have an objection with, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your
Well, I would
response?
object to relevance regarding the duration of Mr. Pequeño's testimony, regarding his income, what he makes, what he brings in. I would also object to that that's outside of the scope of what we are here for today, Your Honor. We are here for entry today. These parties have already proved up the agreement, which agreed that they would each pay 50-50 of any unreimbursed health expenses. My argument, Your Honor, is that the language included on pages 18 and on the first paragraph of page 19 that Mr. Pequeño is objecting to is standard language from the Texas Practice Family Manual. I did not make any additions or deletions to that paragraph. Based on Mr. Pequeño's testimony, my client has agreed to certain things, and I would object to that as well. I am here on my client's behalf, and my client's position is that we would like the language to remain standard from the practice manual.
All right, Ms. Turner, any additional comments from you?
No additional comments. I believe Ms. Seeley stated it.
One more thing, Your Honor. I have an
Yes.
email that I could politely send to you declaring that Lonnie has agreed to 100 days terminology, Your Honor. Would you like for me to submit that to you?
And I would object to that as well, Your Honor, of
Oh,
course.
no, you can't submit that to me. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, whatever you all can agree to on the side of Mr. Pequeño is up to you guys, but this order is a standard order that is placed in all orders regarding family matters, and so I'm finding that the agreed order should be entered today. Thank you.
Thank you, Your
Yes,
Honor.
sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Tresha, you want to hang on for a second?
Yes.